louder after a story we first brought you earlier this week. A liberal state set to free a 9-time rapist, admitted rapist, after serving half his sentence. One of his victims, a 13-year-old child. And Oregon is giving the predator the break of a lifetime, classifying him at the lowest level of offenders. But his victims are sounding the red alert that it's not a matter of if, but when he will strike again. This is Richard Gilmore, convicted back in 1987 of raping a 13-year-old girl in Oregon, and a man who has confessed to raping 8 others. In some 60 days, he will walk out of prison a free man, and because of the low-level offender status, officials will not have to notify families if he moves in right next door to you. Now his victims are grown women, and they are fighting back. They are urging Democratic Governor Kate Brown to issue an emergency order to rank him as a high-level offender and keep him behind bars. With us now is one of those women pushing back. Danielle Tudor was just 17 when Gilmore broke into her parents' home and raped her. And Danielle, I mean, I don't know what to say. I read your heart-rending account, and it's very scary. You can still see Richard Gilmore in the moments before he attacked you. It has to be psychologically debilitating for you.
You know, it really can be. And I think probably what's been the saving factor for me is being able to take something that was, very painful in my life and being given the opportunity starting in 2008 to actually be able to advocate for other victims. And I've gone on to be able to change, 7 different laws in the state of Oregon and complete rape kit reform here in our state. And it really is appalling to me that we have eliminated our rape kit backlog, but we have now turned around and created a backlog of sex offenders who aren't classified. And the legislature passed a bill in 2013 and it was an emergency bill that we needed classification for sex offenders.
Right, and you have done, your group have done exceptional work, and I really am I'm baffled because his classification at level 1 is because of something called a static 99 risk assessment. That's how they determine this. I mean, this is based on things like number of convictions and his age. And Danielle, it's the same kind of thing that insurance companies use to insure to get car insurance rates. It's laughable. They have nothing to go on, and they're deciding this guy's a level 1 offender by using some insurance chart.
Well, as we all know, it's a downloadable form. So anyone can go on the internet and download the form, which is a static 99. And I'm sorry, but you're correct. A 10-question questionnaire can't even begin to classify a serial predator rapist. But yet, appallingly, that is what the parole board is choosing to use, and they're sticking by their guns on just using the static 99. And what the state of Oregon and its citizens need to know, we have allocated $6.5 million to the parole board to come up with the system to classify these sex offenders, which in 2013, there were over 4,000 that were not classified in our state. We know that number has only grown, and we are now almost a decade down the road. And the parole board has still not come up with the classification way to figure out what these sex offenders are. And instead, we're kicking the can down the road. Now we're kicking it down to 2026, which is just, I think it should be appalling to every citizen here in the state.